When NBA players cross the line with fans and women, the world of professional sports is often intertwined with celebrity culture, where the adoration of fans can sometimes blur into inappropriate and, at times, illegal relationships. The National Basketball Association, NBA, has seen numerous instances where players have leveraged their fame in ways that range from reckless infidelity to serious sexual misconduct and criminal acts. These cases reveal a troubling pattern of behavior and, often, a failure of accountability. Karl Malone, a legacy marred by predatory actions. Karl the Mailman Malone is celebrated for his Hall of Fame career with the Utah Jazz, but his legacy is permanently stained by a deeply disturbing chapter from his past. In 1983, the 20-year-old Louisiana Tech sophomore began a sexual relationship with Gloria Bell, a 13-year-old girl from his hometown. This constituted statutory rape under Louisiana law, where the age of consent is 17. The relationship resulted in Bell becoming pregnant at age 13 and giving birth to a son, Demetrius Bell, in 1984. Malone subsequently denied paternity and provided no support, forcing Bell's parents to file a paternity lawsuit. The case was eventually settled out of court, with Malone paying an undisclosed sum. Notably, no criminal charges were ever filed, a testament to the different legal and cultural landscape for rising sports stars in the 1980s. The most poignant victim in this story was a child, Demetrius Bell, who grew up without his father's presence or support despite Malone's immense wealth and fame. Demetrius would later find his own athletic success in the NFL, a career he built on his own. Though the two reportedly reconciled much later in life, it does not erase the profound childhood trauma of abandonment. When confronted about the issue in recent years, Malone has been dismissive, refusing to acknowledge the gravity of his actions. Kobe Bryant, the Colorado case that divided a nation. The summer of 2003 forever altered the trajectory of Kobe Bryant's career. While staying at a Colorado resort for knee surgery, the 24-year-old Lakers star was accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel employee, Caitlin Faber. The encounter, which began consensually according to Bryant, allegedly escalated into assault when Faber stated she asked him to stop, but he did not. Bryant was arrested and charged with felony sexual assault. At a press conference with his wife, Vanessa, by his side, he admitted to adultery but firmly denied the assault allegation, stating, "I'm innocent. I didn't force her to do anything against her will." The case proceeded for over a year, during which Faber faced intense public scrutiny, media leaks, and death threats. As the criminal trial was about to begin, she declined to testify, and the charges were dismissed. A subsequent civil lawsuit was settled out of court for an estimated $2.5 million. As part of that settlement, Bryant issued a public apology that included a significant statement. "Although I truly believe this encounter was consensual, I recognize now that she did not and does not view this incident the same way I did." The case remains a complex and contentious part of Bryant's legacy, a stark reminder of how differently the same encounter can be experienced. Derrick Rose, a civil trial and a troubling mindset. Derrick Rose's journey from youngest MVP to defendant in a sexual assault lawsuit represents a dramatic fall from grace. In 2015, a lawsuit accused Rose and two friends of drugging and sexually assaulting his former girlfriend at her Los Angeles apartment in 2013. The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, claimed she was incapacitated and could not consent. Rose and his co-defendants claimed the encounter was consensual. However, Rose's deposition revealed a deeply troubling understanding of consent. When asked why he assumed Doe wanted sex, Rose responded, "We men, you can assume." He further elaborated that a woman visiting a man's home late at night implied consent. This mindset, that consent is an assumption rather than explicit communication, highlighted a core problem in the case. A jury found Rose and his friends not liable after a civil trial. The defense successfully focused on Doe's behavior after the incident, including text messages about money, a common tactic that often unfairly discredits assault victims. The case, while resulting in a legal victory for Rose, exposed attitudes that continue to fuel public discourse about sexual assault and accountability. Ben McLemore, a rare case of criminal conviction. In a stark contrast to other cases that resulted in civil settlements or no legal consequences, Former NBA player Ben McLemore was convicted and sentenced to prison for sexual assault. In 2025, McLemore was sentenced to 100 months, over 8 years, for a 2021 assault on a 21-year-old woman at a teammate's house party. The victim, a college student, had become severely intoxicated and passed out on a couch. She testified that she awoke to find McLemore assaulting her. Despite his claims of consensual activity, evidence, including photographs of the victim passed out and testimony about her level of incapacitation, led to his conviction. The case was significant for its clear outcome. The victim's courage in reporting the assault and testifying against an NBA player led to a substantial prison sentence, sending a message that celebrity status does not place one above the law. The precedents, Patterson, Stevenson, and a spectrum of abuse. Other cases have further illustrated this pattern of misconduct. Ruben Patterson. In 2001, Patterson pleaded no contest to attempted sexual assault of his family's nanny. He was sentenced to jail time, probation, and was required to register as a sex offender, a rare designation for an NBA player at the time. Deshaun Stevenson. As a 20-year-old rookie, Stevenson was convicted of statutory rape for a consensual encounter with a 14-year-old girl. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor, receiving probation and community service, but was not required to register as a sex offender. Infidelity in the spotlight. Odom, Thompson, and George. Beyond criminal acts, several players have been embroiled in very public infidelity scandals, often involving fans or social media figures. Lamar Odom. His marriage to Khloe Kardashian was plagued by drug addiction and serial infidelity. The most infamous incident involved a drug-fueled encounter with multiple women at a Los Angeles hotel, which his wife famously interrupted. Tristan Thompson. Thompson has been caught in multiple infidelity scandals while in a relationship with Khloe Kardashian, most notably on video with a model just days before Kardashian gave birth to their child. Paul George. His relationship with his now wife, Daniela Radjic, began controversially when a one-night stand resulted in a pregnancy. Radjic alleged George offered her $1 million to have an abortion, a claim he denied. After a paternity suit, they eventually reconciled, started a family, and married. The modern social media scandal. Josh Giddey. In 2023, Oklahoma City Thunder guard Josh Giddey became the subject of a modern social media firestorm. Viral posts and rumors alleged he had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl. The NBA and police launched investigations, but the case was closed due to a lack of evidence and the alleged victim's family's refusal to cooperate. The Giddey situation highlighted how unverified allegations can create a trial by social media in the digital age, leaving a cloud of uncertainty even in the absence of legal charges. Magic Johnson, the scandal that became a cautionary tale. Earvin Magic Johnson's 1991 announcement that he had contracted HIV was a cultural earthquake. He candidly admitted that his promiscuous lifestyle during the Showtime Lakers era, which he described as involving sex with hundreds, perhaps thousands of women, was the cause. While his encounters were consensual, his diagnosis served as a profound cautionary tale about the risks of reckless behavior. Johnson transformed his personal tragedy into a platform for global HIV/AIDS advocacy, though the origins of his diagnosis remain a defining part of his story. Conclusion. From criminal convictions and civil settlements to public infidelity and social media rumors, the history of NBA players crossing boundaries with fans reveals a complex spectrum of misconduct. These cases raise critical questions about celebrity, power, consent, and accountability. They demonstrate how fame can facilitate access and, at times, create an environment where inappropriate and illegal behavior is excused or overlooked. The enduring pattern suggests that for all the league's progress, the challenge of ensuring respect and ethical conduct off the court remains ongoing.